Hey there, YouTube. Daryl back with you again for another episode of Daryl's Vape Tape. So today we're gonna take a step back. We're not really gonna be doing any reviews today. We're gonna be doing a pros and cons for vaping. All right. So I wanted to tell anybody that's gonna subscribe to my channel, anybody that's gonna take a look at my videos. Make sure that you guys know I know what I'm talking about, and I love vaping a lot. It really means a lot to me now. It's become a part of my life, and it's an everyday activity. It's definitely one of my biggest hobbies that I have, and it's amazing. So, I like to start off with, I've smoked cigarettes for 7 years maybe. I got up to where it was maybe a pack and a half a day, and that's the main reason why I switched over. I recently just had a kid, and I got to start thinking about healthier decisions. All right, so start off with the main reason why I like vaping is a cigarette has 5,000 plus chemicals in it. E-liquid has 4 chemicals in it. Okay, and I can't even call those chemicals really. I mean, they're not terrible for you. The only thing that's really bad in the e-liquid is going to be the nicotine. To say a little bit about nicotine, I started out at 12 nic, and right now I'm at 3 nic. So, I've kind of weaned myself back, and I think that everybody that is vaping kind of starts weaning themselves down. It's kind of like, you got to start off at a high nic when you first stop smoking cigarettes, and you kind of just kick it back every couple months, kick it back. I think I'll probably stay at 3 nic, maybe 1.5, but I kind of like a little bit of nicotine in there. Anything that you smoke is never going to be healthy for you. That's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you that e-liquid or vaping is 100% healthy for you. It's 95% healthier than smoking cigarettes. That's what I can say. I can tell you that vaping is a lot cleaner than cigarettes. A downfall of smoking cigarettes, you smell like cigarettes, you always want a cigarette, you always need a cigarette. It sucks. Everything about smoking sucks, all right? Vaping, you got maybe a million flavors out there nowadays. There's something for everybody's liking. It smells great. Everything about it is amazing. I can't say enough about vaping. So, I'm going to tell you guys that, one of the cons with vaping, and there's very few for me. Some people are going to say there's quite a bit out there, but, for me, there's a couple cons. The first con is when I first started vaping, I thought that, I'm going to save a lot of money. It's going to be a money saver for me, because cigarettes are running now like $6.75 a pack. What I found out rather quickly is vaping is kind of an addiction as far as, getting more, better products and bigger tanks and bigger mods and better e-liquid and just everything about it it's kind of a pricey deal. It costs a little bit of money when you're vaping. So, one of the things I seen was, I started off on an iStick 30 with an Aspire version, version 1, and now I got 15 tanks over there, 10 mods. I got so much stuff going on now, and I never thought that I would have this much stuff. I just kind of thought, I'll buy one mod, one tank, and I'll just vape, and that's going to be the end of it. But what I found out is, it's one of my biggest hobbies now. I vape every day. It's a part of my life, everything about it. There's always new, better equipment coming out that I always want to get my hands on. That's the main reason why I started doing videos. I want to be a reviewer. I want to bring vaping to the public and show you guys all the new stuff that's out there, okay? I'm one of those guys that I've watched probably 100 of Rip Drippers videos, 100 of the Indoor Smoker videos, Vaping with Twisted 420. I've watched all their videos, and I'm one of those guys that stared at those videos and said, I can make reviews. Those guys started out in, the same thing that every reviewer starts out, okay? You start out with a shitty camera in a room talking about stuff that you probably already own, okay? And I feel like that's kind of how I started out, all right? So, I'm going to talk a little bit about my first apparatus, all right? So this is the iStick 30, the Aspire version 1. This was my first tank mod combo. Right now, I vape on it, and I just think, wow, now I run, 80 to 100 watts. This is max 30 watts. the airflow on this Aspire version 1, it kind of sucks. Now that I vape on it now, and I vape on my other ones that got massive airflow on them, running high watts, different coils, and just, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my first device here. But I'm not going to get too much in depth with it because I'm not really want to do a review on this. This stuff is so old that this is a couple years ago is when they came out with all this stuff. So I'm not really going to go too much in depth with that. So to get into it a little bit, the cigarettes. Why do you smoke cigarettes? Can you answer that question and say, man, I love smoking cigarettes? I mean, maybe there's a few people out there that say, I absolutely love smoking cigarettes. Every time I smoke one, I'm going to smoke until I die kind of thing. I just, when you look at the cons of smoking, there's thousands of cons, It's just got so many harmful chemicals in there that it's just ridiculous. So, I'm kind of lingering on about it. I wanted to tell you guys that anybody that wants to switch over to vaping, don't think this is going to save you money. The initial cost is where it's at. To buy your first device, your first tank, just stock up on e-liquid, coils, stuff like that. You're looking at a little bit of money there. Okay, but the initial investment, is that worth your health? Is that worth, being a lot more healthier? I mean, since I started vaping, I can taste better, smell better, I feel better, breathe better. I don't smell like cigarettes anymore. I mean, it's just, there's so many more pros than there is cons about vaping. I mean, like I said, the one con about vaping, it's just a little bit expensive. The e-liquid nowadays are running anywhere from, maybe $15 to $22 for a 30 ml bottle of juice. When I first started vaping, 30 ml bottle, week, maybe even longer. Okay, now 30 ml bottle, maybe 2 days, 3 days tops. Okay, so I mean, $22 every 3 days. But is the investment worth your health? If you ask me that question, of course, you guys know what I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my first apparatus. Okay, so you're looking at the iStick 30, and you're looking at the Aspire version 1. Wow, this is what I started on. So I use this device every day when I was first vaping. It's an awesome device. I'll show you guys a cloud out of it. I mean, it chucks some pretty good vapor, for a 30 watt. I mean, can you complain? No, you can't. I wasn't even running 30 watts when I first started vaping. I was running maybe, 15, 20 watts. So, I want to tell you guys that I love vaping. I love everything about it. It's what I choose to do. I think more people should convert to vaping. I think that it's definitely a healthier decision than cigarettes. It's kind of like a no-brainer, I think. You need the nicotine to stay sane, okay? But you don't need the nicotine out of cigarettes. You think that you need it. It's kind of a mind over matter thing. For the first couple weeks that I started vaping, I was smoking cigarettes. I was still smoking cigarettes and trying to vape. And then eventually one day I just had to throw the pack of cigarettes out and say, you know what? I'm done. I'm just going to vape, and that's going to be the end of it. So, now that was so long ago, it seems like vaping's a part of my life, and it's an everyday thing for me. So I'm going to dive down a little bit with this guy. I'm going to show you kind of the things that have changed in vaping. This is an old device, so I'm going to show you the Aspire Atlantis version 1. Okay, we'll start at the bottom. Look at the airflow. Wow. The airflow has came in long days. It's just one hole right there. I got tanks now with 4 air holes on them, so, and it's got, 4 different slots on here. It's got that slot, a little smaller. That slot's just a little pinhole, and then this one's really small. So, of course, I got this wide open because it's not even half as the airflow that I would like to run out of it. Okay, it's got your standard drip tip on it, pops right off there. One of the things that have definitely changed a lot, most of the tanks out nowadays are top fill. This one, definitely bottom fill. Pain in the ass to fill these, okay? You got your standard 510 pin on it. It's just a basic tank. There's nothing else to really say about it. It's just there. When I was running this, I think I was running a 0.5 coil out of there. and it performs good. But now I've came leaps and bounds to where this tank has left me. So we'll set this aside here. We'll look at the iStick 30. Okay, 30 watts. That's it. No temp control. No nothing. Just 30 watts there. Flip it over right so you guys can see it. But 30 watts. That's it. No atomizer found on there. Scroll with it right here. You click it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's going to change it over to watts for you. And it goes all the way to 5.5 watts all the way up to 30 watts. And then 1, 2, 3. Change it right over to volts for you. Same thing. Scroll up on volts, same way. And that's it. I mean, that's all she wrote. There's not anything about it. I can't tell you I got no complaints when I was using this. It was performing pretty well for me. USB charge right there on the bottom. Absolutely hate this. Why would you put it on the bottom? How the hell am I going to charge and vape on that at the same time? Okay. Got your standard 510 pin on it. It's got a nice round. It feels good, but it's just so small compared to most of the devices that I have now. So I'm going to take this back up top. I'm going to take a couple vapes on it, show you guys how this tank does, and we'll close out the video. $30 watts? What? Let's check some clouds for 30 watts. But I just wanted to give you guys a video, tell you some of the pros and the cons that I love vaping. Of course, you guys know that. And I think more people should look at vaping. Like I said, it's not 100% healthy for you, but I don't think if you smoke anything, it's never going to be healthy for you. So you kind of take, you take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? Are you going to smoke cigarettes that are probably going to kill you? Or are you going to smoke vaping that is, you're going to get another, it's not a hard number, but, maybe another 10 years of life. Is that worth the investment, worth the extra money that it cost me? Absolutely. So I'm going to close this video out with a couple vapes off this guy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not vaping, take a look at it. So make sure if you guys are vaping out there, any concerned vapors, make sure you guys get your hands and sign the partition to get us vapors to be able to vape. All right, so I don't know if vaping will be around another 2 years if we don't get these signatures. So I think the last time I looked, I think we got like another 150, 200,000 signatures left to get. So get that, okay? Get your hands on it, sign it. If you're a concerned vapor and you give a fuck about vaping, make sure you sign that. So I'm gonna take a vape on this, and hopefully you guys have a great day.